Today, I meet with Linh Taylor, a licensed acupuncturist in Northern California. In our laid back, full of laughter and candid conversation, we talk about so many trials and hurdles we've become as women and minorities in the United States. What fills my heart is the natural genius that arises from within, from our shared love of Chinese medicine and application of yin yang in our lives to carry us forward in a country, in different cultures, and a system that may not be built for people like us. I felt such a kinship of sorts when I hung up with Lynn. She is a helper, she cares deeply about her community, and she has perspective as an engineer, mother, martial artist, and healer on being wildly successful when we focus on who is right around us and keeping it very simple. This conversation reminds me that life is full of roses, the thorns, and the beauty. And that's what keeps us going. This conversation weaves through different elements of life, practice, business mindset, practical wisdom, pelvic health, and dry needling. Through it all is an undeniable love for Chinese medicine and helping people. We have never met before. And like I said, when I hung up, it felt like I had known her for lifetimes. This is one of those conversations I dreamt of having when Yinspired was born. Conversations celebrating different perspectives in Chinese medicine and integrative medicine. Yinspired is dedicated to all the grandmothers and aunties whose voices weren't heard or listened to. Created for the daughters. Aloha and welcome back to Yinspired, a podcast celebrating different perspectives in Chinese medicine and integrative medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Haunani Chong-Drake, a clinical doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, licensed acupuncturist in the United States, cultural practitioner and steward, mom, dog mama, and military spouse. Here we have casual conversations with everyday practitioners, patients, and students exploring the messy truths of medicine, healing, the taboo, and life. I am very excited to introduce today's guest to the pod, Linh Taylor. Welcome to Yinspired. I'm so happy we made all those hurdles go away.
Finally. Hi, good morning, Haunani. It's so great to finally meet you. I, I don't know how you do this. Like meet a new person for the first time and recording and hoping they might be a nice person. What happened if you don't like one of us?
That's a great question. There's a huge element of trust in this process and understanding that there's a certain person who feels called, who feels drawn into the space. And part of this, to me, I see this as a practice. Like holding space for a podcast for people all over the globe is a practice for me. And part of that practice is trusting who's being invited in, word of mouth. Like that's how we met, is through word of mouth, right? So, that's how we work. We were just talking about this before we started recording, how sometimes women just do things different, It's not necessarily the traditional way of meeting and greeting and job interviews and resumes, like none of that. This is all about heart to heart, intuition, spirit bringing people together. As you and I both saw when we first signed on, it was like, oh my gosh, I know you. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, it couldn't be that bad. I mean, a friend of a friend and someone I do like so much, even though I get mad too.
Well, let's get to know each other a little better then. What would you like us to know about you?
Oh, hi everyone. I'm Linh Taylor. I'm a licensed acupuncturist in Northern California. I'm also a certified yoga instructor. I'm a functional movement specialist. I'm a former software engineer. I actually have been practice in wellness. I was 10 years old, and I'm informed by martial art. The old way of martial art. When you see in a movie, kung fu movie, the master is actually the old day is the doctor, right? You come to them for adjustment. You come to them and they check your pulse. They travel around and healing people and shaman as well, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a mom of two. My 10 years old is special need. She nonverbal autistic, and she the one that actually got me into this space. And I have another daughter. She's 5 years old. I'm currently practiced in San Jose. I have my own clinic. I'm specialized in pelvic floor, women health, anything I can do, health. I also volunteer in Berkeley helping low income women who have cancer. I also work at Indian Health Center, which such an amazing experience because this is where I'm actually helping homeless community, people with disability, no income, low income, but it's just a space that no discrimination where you're from, where you are, how much money you have or not have, will still give you this treatment. And we give patient, an option now. Western medicine work great, but then some of my Indian American, native Indian American, they culturally they don't want to do any medication. So acupuncture have been so helpful. I also work with Stanford medicine residency program, and this is a very good learning experience for me as well as we exchange knowledge. The resident can observe acupuncture in person in my practice. They would spend all day with me and they was surprised of what we can do. We treat digestion all the time and migraine headache, and they're like, you can do that? This is so like, this is what we make a living. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of about me for now.
All you can think of. That is incredible. I mean, clearly you are a go-getter. I mean, where do you find the time? I only have 24 hours in a day and I prioritize my sleep. I love sleep.
I love sleep.
So how are you getting all of this? Like, where are you borrowing time?
I don't own a TV. That's helpful. I do post on social media, but I don't read. So I would just go up, I post, and I check on my sister page, and then I post a video for patients. Like for example, today everyone asked about migraine headache. I'll post something. And I keep everything very short, and all my video, acupressure, everything is like sitting on the chair because I want to be able to provide something everyone can do. So I'm like, okay, you have no excuse. This is the stretch I show you that you can do on the toilet. I joke because some of my patients are nurses. That's the only time that they actually rest in the restroom, right? Like pee time is spa time.
I'm so glad you get that.
At the same time, we do have to do a lot of work. Yeah. One thing, I know you are supposed to ask me question, but you mentioned go-getter. Are you a go-getter?
That's a great question. How did you do this? You need to start your own podcast, Lynn.
Oh, no, I don't want to.
I am definitely, I know people who know me well are probably laughing that it's taken me this long to answer. Yes, I am a go-getter. And I would say in the last 5 years, 6, 7 years, it's been a practice of, I don't want to say letting that part go, but I think what motivates me now is very different than what used to motivate me. And so it doesn't feel as much of a push anymore. Like, I got to get this or I have to achieve this. Like, the achievement part is gone, the status, the motivation of what used to make me a go getter.
Hmm.
It's very different. But yeah, I mean, I started a podcast. So yeah, I mean, in some ways, when I have a vision, when I have a dream, when it's
You
built up
want to
so
go
much
for it.
inside me,
Yeah.
I'm going to go for it, even if it means I stumble and I fall and I bruise and I face plant. Because if I don't, there's something in me that just tears at me. So I guess in that way, I am a go getter. I'm just very adventurous in general. And so
Yeah.
I think that ripples out into different areas of my life. And I love meeting new people. So, like, jumping on a call with you across the United States, and I've never met you, this fills my cup. It feels so normal. It feels at ease. I love it.
Yeah.
It brings me so much joy.
Have you known any men who are go-getter?
Well, you should meet my husband.
No, but I feel like though for men, when they are go-getter, that's not a label we put on them. It's like he's very smart. They smart, they talented. Oh, they good at what they do. That's what we say, right? Only women, it's just like it's almost like it's not common, it's not typical. I'm still struggle with someone when they ask me, when they make a comment that I'm ambitious. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think of it like I want to make this amount of money. I want to have this number of patients. Like literally, I just want to help more people, and by help more people, I get more people. But then uh, I just feel like, it's just really hard to accept the label. Like, nobody said a man is ambitious. They just say he's successful, he's smart cookie, but we are ambitious and go getter. And I don't know how I feel. It just almost feel like it's out of character to be this way, which is most men are, and most men you want to be, right? The person you marry, you want to be that person, and that's so okay.
I had actually never thought about it that way. Just the word go getter is much more like going to achieve or going to do something, like grasping.
You're
And
not supposed to be there. Like,
now that you say that, it's almost like a backhanded compliment.
to ourselves, yes. Not pointing anything out, but I think women though, we need to change the language about ourselves. When someone call me those name, I'm like, yeah, I'm good at what I do. I just gonna accept the compliment, but I don't do this because I want to have this amount of money. I do this because I really love to help people, and I have this ability, and I want to keep helping people. So I want to change the language. Hey, this is not cool because thank you for the compliment, but yet at the same time you insult my intention, right? Your intention is definitely not like you trying to get to this goal, but your intention were never like, I'm going to be a famous podcaster. I'm going to make more money. I don't think this is where money is. And we're not like Amy Poehler, her podcast, pretty funny. So even though you go for what you desire, but there is an intention and matter. And I think we should acknowledge that more than give a title because that's not fair.
I love that. Fully agree. It reminds me of I've taken many, many, many workshops, courses in business, entrepreneurship, you name it, right through the
You
years.
did?
Oh, I've taken so hundreds of hours at this point. And one of the things that's always frustrated me is that they throw around the term successful, like if when you're successful, blah, blah, blah. And what occurred to me many years ago is, wait a minute, but you don't know what my definition of success is. You
Mm-hmm.
assume we all have the same definition of success, which is the best title, more money, more fame. And I was like, that's not what I'm doing this for. Like, I just want to help. Like you said, I want to help as many people as possible. That's my goal, period. Like I'm of service.
Yeah.
And when I had that realization, it helped me reframe every workshop I'd ever done. It helped me reframe what marketing really is for me, not someone else's definition of why
Mm-hmm.
you should do marketing a certain way. When I reoriented to what success was for me and the definition from my point of view, which had nothing really to do with money or fame or number of people in the treatment room,
Mm-hmm.
one, like my heart just expanded, my breath got easier. I felt so much more relief because now I was creating a practice, or I was creating whatever I was creating from my own terms, not from this imposed definition of what it means to be quote unquote successful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I try not to stop saying that, right? Because I feel like for me, the hardest job is stay home and be a mom. I rather making money and pay 100% of that money to whoever take care of my kid or pay even more because I'm like, I have no talent in this. I mean, I'm a generally good mom, right? I'm good as gold, but I don't want to wipe every butt every day. And then I don't want to hear, let's read again. Mom, look at me. Mom, look at me. I love you, but I can't look at you all day long. And it's just the worrying. Okay, what are they doing? Okay, where they at? And I'm just, I'm never going to be a professional at this. You have to pay me like $1 million a year, even that. You're probably gonna lay me off within a month. This is my job. I just don't, I'm very patient with my patient, right? But it's different. Like it's like your somebody else kid, right? I'm super good with kids. I play and they go home. Bye. You have candy. I make you happy, and then your parents take care of that issues.
You're like my twin. You have just summed up my own experience as well. When my kids were young, my husband and I, we were like, you got to get out of the house. To me, they're like, we got to get you out of here. This is no good for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hear you. Thank you for being so honest about that too, because I think there's a lot of some people can hold that as mom guilt or shame that for some reason they don't have this desire or natural ability or
Yeah.
DNA. And it ate away at me for years, being like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me? Why is this so hard to stay at home with my kids?
Yeah. And when I ask them, sometimes I ask, what do you do for work? And they're like, oh, I don't have a job. I stay home. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like a million jobs. And I'm like, don't, just tell me you stay home. It's okay. I can do this job if I want to. I'm not qualified for that. And then you like homeschooling? Are you kidding me? I can't even homeschooling myself. I think women just society are driven by money. They're no title, they're no money. uh, They're not successful, right? And I'm like, come on, if your kid make it to school, didn't do any drug, that is success.
Hey, I even take it one step lower. If my kid is alive at the end of the day,
True.
we are golden.
We're golden.
I used to have really big goals for me,
Dream.
like dreams for like the type of kids I was gonna have and who I was gonna be as a parent, and I had to throw all of that out of the window.
You do
Oh,
have half Asian in you.
yeah, I'm part Asian too. You said you're from Vietnam
Yeah.
originally?
I'm 100% Asian, so I do have capacity to become tiger mom. Sorry, everyone. If you don't know what tiger mom is, we very driven by success. I think part of being immigrant, I do have that moment that I want my kid to be successful, but having a kid with autism, nonverbal, and I know she never ever gonna even go to regular high school or college is really a struggle for me to give up that hope and dream, right? What you want your kid to be. One day have a family and all of that. It took a lot of time, but now, think about it, like what do you love in life? Like what is the happy life for all of us? Like able to sleep, right? Able to eat, bowel movement, have someone who love you and something fun to do. It's like, isn't that every dream? Some of us just like wish we have that. And my autistic kid have that, right? She's always gonna be this happy child. It's like she probably not gonna grow up, but at the same time, she never gonna know the trauma, the drama, the relationship, the breakup, the pressure of society. And sometimes people ask me, oh, go see this specialist. They're gonna help her. She almost 11 now. She can speak again. But at the same time, I'm like, I have done enough. I'm not giving up on my kid. I'm working so I can save for her in the future. But right now, she live in the dream that all of us want to be for the rest of our lives. She's super happy. And I don't want to change her because if I change her, if I make her speak, if I make her more capable, in a way that forcing her to learn, forcing her to repeat things she doesn't understand. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for her. Because every human being want to be like her. Free money, doesn't know what money is. Just eat, sleep, you know? She run around the yard. She's just like, I want jamba juice. I want to go for a walk. And then I want to go home, It's like, come on, it's the dream. So I gotta wrap my mind around what is fulfilling life. And sometimes we didn't see that we had it for a long, long time. We go all the way up and we are on the way down.
Isn't that interesting to just pause and think about we've already had it? How many of us have already had it? Even if we come from really challenging backgrounds, like you bring it back to its most fundamental. And we already have it, and then there's that part of us that's human that says, "I want more,"
Yes.
but we already have it, right? That I mean,
Mhm.
that's so Taoist in a lot of ways too, and that idea of our wholeness is already inherently in us.
Yeah, yeah. Having less, I think sometimes it better. If you just choose between A and B, it's easier. And if it's wrong, you just jump to the other. But if you have 10 of them, it's gonna take a lifetime to try it out, right?
Are you good with making decisions then?
What type?
Do you need like an A-B choice, or if you're presented with 10 options, can you easily go, "Okay, that route," or "That's my choice"?
I'm never in the position, I never put myself in the position that I have 10 decisions to make. I feel like I'm very uncomplicated life in general. I make decision very quick. I don't like for example, my condo that I bought long time ago. I'm in the house now, and that was the second condo I've seen. And I could see, you want it's like picking fruit at the market. It's like a pile of them. And then you like go this, go that. At the end of the day, to be honest, you open them up, they could be run inside. It's so much work. Right? It's not even, it's like for me, you pick something and it's like, it's good enough. I just have to walk away with good enough. We, and we keep picking, and you know what happened by the time you get through the pile, they all been squeezed by you, and they might not even be bad, but at least, you're not wasting your time. I think having more choices are not necessarily better. Like, I would like to narrow down to a few choices and good enough, walk away, right? And my condo too, it's like I walked in and I'm like, everything I need, there's sunshine, there's space. To be honest, I don't really need space. All I need is the big kitchen. I live in the kitchen. Our kitchen have a beanbag in there because we never live. We just sit there, wait for the next meal. I'm Asian, so we eat constantly. That's what I see in young people as well. Having so many choices when it comes to dating, I'm not saying it's the best, um, like it makes it harder because how about you like, oh, how about the one that, the one is still out there? But then we all need to know that there no the one. They don't exist. Anyone ever married to someone even slightly perfect? No, they don't exist. It's the husband in training or wife in training, whatever that is. That person gonna drive you crazy, and you just have to learn to live with it. You pick the pro and con, and they will be better or they won't. Just pick good enough and start from there. The one I would say I always go with the decision that make me feel good about myself. I like to be with the person that I like the person I am when I'm with them. Sometimes that tell you a lot because they could be, oh, the most amazing person, but you just don't you're a version of yourself you don't love. Could be perfect, but you don't love. Yeah.
So profound. I hope that we share these podcasts, this wisdom with so many of our younger nieces, daughters, because I wish I had heard this type of conversation when I was younger. Because I consider myself a recovering perfectionist. So I am the person to this day, I have to practice not touching all the apples. I mean, I won't. I've never done that. But
You won't touch all the
when
apples.
you use that analogy, I felt so seen. I was like, if I had the time, I just never have the time and I don't like grocery shopping. But if I could, I would love to sit there and feel every single fruit so that I could pick the 5 best ones. That's not realistic, and it's kinda gross when I think about it, because then I know all the other hundreds of thousands of people who have touched it too.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this has been a practice, what you're saying, so I can see that you embody it and that you're sharing it from a place of contemplation and living and embodiment yourself. I didn't have that. I didn't have those messages until recently. And so I just hope that more people understand that there's no such thing as a perfect anything. We
Yeah.
make a decision based on what's in front of us. We make the best decision at the moment. and then there's gonna be a million more decisions in front of us,
Yeah,
but we have to keep moving forward, not waiting
exactly.
for that perfect
Yeah,
situation.
moment, perfect person, perfect wedding. It just
Yeah, or the perfect practice or the
yeah,
perfect
oh gosh.
patient or the perfect I mean, this really it transcends in all areas.
Yeah, it's just like everyone just go get the next training. New practitioner, I know that you want to be the best, like prepare before treating patient. But to be honest, think about money alone. I mean, you will spend $2,000 on this training. The rule is you need to make back the money first before you go to the next one. You know,
Amen.
like you invest in this, you need to spend it. And seeing patient, sometimes I used to think my specialty is completely something else. And
What
surprisingly,
did you think your specialty was?
I was thinking about like thyroidism, anxiety, but then I pelvic floor would be the last thing I would ever pick for myself. No offense, that I have nothing against pelvic floor. It just I never thought it doesn't never even occurs to me it's a thing. It never occurred to me to do women health. Okay, in all honesty, right now I love women, but we all have our fair share of a lot of drama, right? And women, because we are driven by emotion, hormonal, we all can be emotional. And sometimes it's just a lot for me. My background is engineer. I love to stick on my computer. I actually used to think that I'm like, I don't like people. I don't want to talk to you. I sit next to someone in cubicle and I'm like, let me just email you. Please don't talk to me. I walk out. I'm like, who are you? Sorry. I sound pretty stuck up and I probably was.
You just
um,
know who you are, I love it.
I'm just here to exercise. I'm here to take a walk. I'm not looking for a boy. But you know what I meant. I'm not looking for another. I'm just here taking care of myself. And I would be happy to be single for the rest of my life too. Like I would never wanted anyone else but my computer. It's definitely my lover. And things changed when I started working with people. First, I feel like I'm more connected to women who are older and men as well. My patient used to be when I started practicing, they're all in their 70, 80, and I works really well. They really helped me to calm down. They really helped me to learn to have wisdom, to know what it means to have joy. Like when you come to the rest of your life, everything you look back, nothing matter. Nothing matter. The money, the relationship, nothing else matter. Just like people don't remember most thing about you. The only thing they remember is like who you are, your kindness, right? Your love. And so I learned a lot from my patient and I started loving people. I'm fascinated about people. Like I ask so many questions. And when you're just honest, you curious, you want to get to know them, but people very open and people love to share that. I utilize what I can to treat patients. And I don't think I have the magic pill. I think it's all of us. It's family, environment, politics, social media, friends. One, we have the support. We might not even need a doctor.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really interesting that you say that medicine or Chinese medicine brought this new side of you out into the
Yeah.
world. I always think that Chinese medicine has its own consciousness, and when we
Yeah.
step into it, whether a practitioner or a patient or we're curious or we're just learning about it, you get swept up into that river. You
Yeah.
can't help but have it affect you in some ways, and it sounds
Yeah.
like for you, it took you from this engineering cubicle side of you where you were very happy, very content.
Yeah.
And here you are now. I mean, I would never have guessed that about you. I mean, you're so loving and gregarious and charming and such a nurturer. You create nests for your patients by making sure every part of them is warm. And so
Yeah.
it's just so fascinating to see how the medicine brings these different parts of us out. Like it's working on us as well when we step into it, even though we become a conduit for
Yeah.
others.
I feel like Chinese medicine, you interested, everyone should learn about it. Take even a foundation class, for a few months. I feel like it's an enzyme, right? We talk about thinking more recently about consciousness. By the way, I don't have any religion and I don't even know I'm spiritual, but I feel like we have this self-conscious, self-consciousness with ourselves. But the consciousness itself is not inside. It's you and me right now because of the enzyme, which is the Chinese medicine. The you know the this medicine have connect us together, and together now we have this consciousness, and then front of us, right? We created our consciousness. We conscious of your presence, your energy, your love, and even your smile make me feel better. And that is something, that is medicine, that is consciousness. I don't want us to all just sit there and meditate within ourselves every day. There's a space for that, but we have to connect to at least another human being, right? To get into the source, because this is the source when we connecting, right? We're not just in the bubble of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, in connection itself, I mean, as a yoga instructor, my background too, what brought me into Chinese medicine was the path of Ayurveda and yoga. I don't know
Oh,
if you
me
know that
too.
about me.
Me,
So when
yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
I
about
did. I
like
did.
people coming together and that coming together, that connectedness creates that consciousness. I mean, that's so in alignment with the word yoga. A lot of people think yoga is just the postures, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
yoga
it's the
is
union,
it's a
right?
union. It's a union. It's a coming together. It's a connection of
Yeah.
things, and you
You
feel
don't
that.
even need to talk to another person. You just need to be in the room. And it's okay to don't talk, just be there, be connected to another human being. Before yoga, I thought I'm like ugly, like always. But then, I mean, being Asian is hard. Like, sorry, being human is hard. But, Asian mom, you know how it is. So I live in America now, but every time I come back to Vietnam, the first time my mom, like, are you back from America or another country? You look so dark. I don't want to say what country that is. We want fair skin. We want our standard is a women who very feminine, who have smaller body. I feel like my arm is like bigger than like most men neck, right? I'm like, I don't do anything. I don't do any lifting. I just have baby and it's like getting bigger and bigger. And, I just don't have the typical KMOS body, right? I'm always like, I wanted to be thinner. Like, I don't want to have like just, I want to have A minus. Give me my A minus. And I just never fit in. I couldn't even find a jeans that fit my butt, right? And I always felt, I'm even thinner than I am right now. And even when I'm like 90 pounds, I felt fat. I felt ugly, and not in a way to say anything bad about my mom, but my mom used to say that you're ugly and you need surgery here, 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 and here, here, and I'm like, I'll take the nose. I mean, it's it's almost like you just when someone says something about your beauty, like you would think like, why would they lie, right? And like compared to a female Asian, I guy, I don't know. I mean, we all going through this in our 20, right? Never pretty enough. No compliment gonna make us feel beautiful. Like so many boyfriend, jump to boyfriend. Like I have so many relationships, jump to boyfriend, always fish for the compliment, right? Regardless how beautiful and gorgeous they say I was, I just never believe it myself. I spend an hour, in the morning before get out, right? My hair oil, my makeup, everything. Now I don't need to put anything on. Like, you know what? I just need to be smart and nice. It's the time have changed. And I love that. I love that. We don't need to put up a face and we all but I think yoga, back to yoga. I think just one day I started and in Savasana and have this moment. It's like our body experience. I almost like suddenly I'm like, oh, did I sleep for too long? And I open my eyes and I look down. I'm like, oh, that me. It's so weird. But I did this yoga challenge, 30-day, every single day you do challenge. I was like exhausted, right? And I look down and I'm like, oh my God, I have never seen me. Like, you know how when someone's sleeping, like your child sleeping, and you look at them and this, like, you just want to cry because it is the most beautiful, the most peaceful sight ever. And I get to see this every day in our treatment room, don't we? When we walked in and they smile, and, our patient can come into a very spicy person before treatment, and at the end it's like melt my heart every day. Like, I don't know how many disease I help, but I know that I help this person at least today to feel better, to feel joy, not necessarily happiness. And so that's the first time I look at myself and I'm like, gosh, I'm beautiful. Like, I'm not saying in a way of like nice eye, beautiful, and like I see beauty now. And since then, every woman walk by, I'm like, oh, she beautiful, she beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. And we just have to find that. So we can support each other and not competing and not trying to be better than them, right? We all have to be better together.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I have so many similar experiences. It's so fascinating to sit here across from you, and you're so radiant and you're so beautiful. And for me to be like, how could she not see that though? Right? Like, but, and then I hear what you're saying because I've been in that space too of like, whether it's family message or communal message or cultural messaging of just not being enough, like, you're getting it all over the place, and it's so confusing, and especially when you're a little girl, like, you just wanna have fun. That's all
Yeah.
you care about, you just wanna have fun and play and be with your friends, and then something switches where all of a sudden you said something like, "No amount of compliments would have made you understand how beautiful you were."
And I keep searching, like, I keep going and searching, buying the next outfit, turn into a
Makeup
shopaholic.
product.
Makeup product, like, it just never stop. And the same makeup product just doesn't look good. Like, I just keep doing more and more, like changing hair color, changing face. Like, everything I do, I've just like, I was still not confident, right? I mean, at the same time, you're like, oh yeah, I'm beautiful, and you look sexy, but inside it's like, I'm not beautiful. And I think, you kind of find a good one, a partner or a friend when it doesn't matter to them. And you wake up, I think like nobody like get out of bed looking the way we're looking, right? To be honest, we look like crap. Come on now. If you like, we don't look sick or something, but a partner that you don't mind waking up and be in bed for a few moments, and you don't mind they looking at you the way it is, and they don't object. The person that see you, the person that compliment you even when you have nothing on, and then the person say you so cute on the day that you're sick, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't look cute, but we cute, and the baby kind of cute, right? When your baby's sick, they so cozy. Yeah, and I think when you find a partner, find that even your moment of weakness, your moment of looking not your best, that is a keeper. I mean, he probably not perfect, but it's okay.
And also to what you said is like, you didn't have someone externally make you have that realization. You were doing your own yoga practice. You were having your own moment. You were going through your own self-awareness process.
Yeah,
I don't know how you would describe it, but yoga is deeply transforming, and I don't think a lot of
yeah.
people know that.
Yeah, I think yoga have changed too. Don't you feel?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's become so commercialized.
We become an exercise. I did love that through yoga, um, we able to get the body to feel confidence about ourselves, right? You know, it's okay. You start from the outside. Like, I think it's okay. Like, I'm okay. You have Botox. I'm okay. You need this one plastic surgery. to be the person you always want to be. But if you keep go one after another and you never turn into that person, maybe go the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yoga have become such an exercise, a power yoga. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think you need to find a teacher that give you that power yoga. And at the end, it's like you need to find. You talk about yin and yang, right? Let's do the yang to get that, particularly our body, to get that nervous energy our body. I like that. But at the end, let's do the opposite as well, right? We engage your body. Let's do some stretching. We are jumping up and down. Let's calm them down a little bit. And I think the balance is lost. And I think we need to go back there. I still recommend patients to go to yoga, but it's hard to find a class. How about you? What do you recommend your patient to do in terms of exercise?
I think it is very person dependent and teacher dependent because not every teacher is the right teacher for each
Yeah.
person. And for me, yoga was such philosophy, a spirituality. It happened to
Mm,
have these movements that made me feel strong and flexible and really helped me to befriend and become friends with my physical body again because I had tried to escape it for so long because of pain and disease and trauma and all the things. So it was this deeply, deeply healing process for me. I honestly didn't realize there was a spiritual component at all. It was kind of like the beautiful, unexpected surprise of the universe that
yeah.
turned me towards that the self-inquiry and contemplation and the mental emotional healing that it brought to me. So it is
Yeah.
still very personal to me, but when it comes to how I share it with others and recommend it, I really take into consideration kind of like you said, yin yang. Does this person need more yang in their life and more movement? Then I might actually encourage them to look into something more warm or more flowy. But if
Yeah.
they're already doing so many things and their to-do list is forever and they're, trying to be a
Yeah.
perfectionist in all things,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not even about going to a new class. I don't want to
Yeah.
add something else to their
Something
to-do
else.
list
Mm-hmm.
only for them to get upset that they're not doing it the right way or they have the best teacher or they have to worry about new
Yeah.
clothes
Yeah.
where I might not encourage them. I might focus on just taking things off of their list, like doing less as the practice and maybe not even taking things off the list, but looking at that same list and just being at ease with doing one thing on their list that day instead of needing to accomplish all 482 things on their list and then feeling disappointed at the end of the day. To me, that type of practice is still yoga
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's helping them reconnect with their true essence and their vital energy and their life force energy.
Yeah.
So I think my perspective of how I'm integrating yoga into my client experience or patient experience is, I mean, it's such a Chinese medicine answer, but it depends. It
Yeah.
depends on
Yeah.
the person, and I really do come about it from a yin-yang perspective. Like, does this person need more yin in their life?
Mm-hmm.
Do they need more stillness? Do they need more rest? Or
Yeah.
does this person actually need a little more activation and yang?
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you're more yin or more yang right now?
In this moment, I feel a really good balance. I mean, I'm laughing so much, my cheeks hurt from smiling with you, and at the same time, I feel a peace, a contentment.
Very sweet. How is your practice going? Do you have any recommendation for new practitioner?
See, you need to have your own podcast. Look at you. These are the
Oh
questions
no,
I'm
no, I'm
I wanna
curious. I'm curious. I want to know, because I am have a few mentee
Mhm.
that I'm helping, and I'm like I share everything.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
this is the company you get credential. This
Yeah.
is how much they pay you. This is I even sent a link. This is how you open your business. Pre-created Excel spreadsheet so you can expense it at the end of the year. This is the before you opening your business, any expense happen before that you can really write off in a different way when like I teach everything,
Oh,
and
you're
I even
amazing.
have a practitioner that sublease from me, and I send my patient to her. Like there's no competition. There's so many patients. How many of us know people that don't know anything about acupuncture? Even us. It's like there's so many family member never been, never tried, and there's no reason to compete. Even if I get like patient from this block where I live, that's enough to run my business every month,
Yeah.
right? That's all we need.
I know. You're really coming from an abundant mindset, and I love that. I appreciate it. I actually wish more practitioners who had an established practice would take on mentorship in that way, because that transition from when did you graduate again from your college with the
I
acupuncture degree or your Chinese
um
medicine background?
2020.
2020. Okay, so newer. Oh my goodness. You were entering the field in 2020 when everything was shutting down?
Yeah, I'm actually, oh my God, I took the exam. It's gross. You guys get ready, okay? I took the exam, the national exam, and I was pregnant and I'm very nauseous. and, and they don't allow you to use the restroom at
No.
all.
No,
And
none of the states allow you to.
I vomit, it come out, and I have to suck it back.
I am so sorry.
This sucks so bad. And I take my California exam, which is 5 hours. And then maybe you cannot tell, but I'm only 5 feet tall. And they, you too?
Me too.
My God. All the shorty. And they put you on the chair. This chair, it doesn't matter which chair they people put me on. I look like a little kid. My leg is just dangle like that. And can you imagine sit like that for 5 hours? So I put my leg up into the chair. I do cross leg and they say, no, your leg has to be down there. I'm like, down where? In the air? and, I just gave birth actually. I studied for like a week. And then I took the exam. I studied literally even the day before the exam. I studied all day until 3 a.m. And I get to the exam by 7. And I took it. A 5-hour
You
exam.
are so wicked smart. I studied
No,
way more than you.
I think, oh gosh. So I don't know about smart, but I'm good at figure things out on the spot. Okay, I say I study for a week, but I'm always studying.
Yeah.
Like every day at school, like you can just throw me a pop quiz and I already know because every day I come home after the kids go to bed, I would review everything that day and kind of understand it and read all the book and kind of like figure it out.
Yeah.
The most exciting on exam for me is when I have a question, I have no idea how to answer or what it means. I'm like, score! So exciting. I'm always the kind of person like, okay, I don't become a doctor. I don't become this and that. I'll happy work at Starbucks. I love Starbucks. I love American Eagle. I will work there. Hopefully I get free pairs. I'm like, my tip maybe even be better. My acupuncture pay. I don't don't worry about little things like that. So
Yeah.
you have your hand, you have your leg, okay. If you don't, we'll find other things for you. But, when you take things too seriously, it's not fun. It's not fun. You have to have fun. You have to see, you buy a new package of needle, how you feel. I'm like, they said it's a new technology. And then, I get excited about one of the needle, the package is recyclable, right?
Mhm.
Compostable. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a kid at a factory, candy factory. You gotta be excited about what you do. You gotta be this childlike and have fun. And new practitioner too. Don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. I think I want to hear more about how you feel about acupuncture. This is not where the money is. Don't you agree?
Are you asking me if I think you can make a lot of money in acupuncture?
I mean, not a lot of us make a lot of money.
No. No.
There are only a handful of
And that's
people.
why I was gonna say it's really good to hear that you mentor others so that you can help them get that ball rolling after they
Yeah.
graduate, because I think that is so hard for so many people going through acupuncture school or Chinese medicine school, is that they wanna be a helper. They just wanna help people like you and me. You
Yeah.
just wanna help your community. It takes a different mindset and a different set of skills and a different paradigm to then be an entrepreneur running your own
Yeah.
clinic and business. So it
Yeah.
makes me so happy to hear that you take, it's like your mama the bear gathering new cubs out of school and mentoring them
Yeah.
and sharing with them all these tools. I wish more and more people did that.
mean, I proposed like the mentorship program when I'm even in school. I'm the one like came up with that. Like the senior student can
Yeah.
mentor them, and the people already have a clinic can have them just observe. But then I think a lot of over advertisement. Okay, this is a up and coming career. This is the person that make this amount of money, and we're like, it's like five of them, right? People really quit their job and go into school full time and get a huge loan, and you come out. I don't care how talented and good you are. Nobody know who you are, and nobody would willing to pay $150 for seeing you, even though you spend 2 hours with them, and that's like not even enough pay. But nobody would like to pay that, right? And then one treatment and they not better, they not coming back. And you know what's gonna happen? It really hurt our feeling. Isn't it? I was like, am I not good enough? Like we come back to, am I not good enough? Like, am I meant to do this? Do I have no talent? And I think mentorship and create a space for new people to come in and practice with people is so essential. The more of us doing this, the more we become mainstream. I want us to become like Tylenol,
Yeah.
right?
No, I
Right?
have the same
Right?
dream. Yep.
But
Yeah.
then the thing is, we all busy. We all just build our own empire. We don't think about helping our neighbor also help us, right? Like Starbucks, they open the store across the street from each other. And there's some of us, me, too lazy to cross the street. I'm gonna go to this one. I was like, they open closer to my street. I'm gonna be here. Everyone, like the competition is fierce.
Yeah, I think you're onto something that I think a lot of people fear the competition, but I'm like you. I grew up in Seattle area when Starbucks came out. So I saw what happened to the coffee industry literally as I was growing up, and people were at arms when they thought, who is this company that's going to serve coffee in
Hmm.
this low lights fancy cups? I'm not going to pay $1.50 for a cup of coffee. I'm just
No,
going to
it's
go to the
$6.
yeah, I'm just gonna go to this, everyone would just go to the gas station to get coffee. Like, who do they think they are? And now look, now we're paying 6.50 for a you can't even get a grande anymore, right? Or like with the small
Yeah.
size. Like, it's insane what we pay for coffee. And so I
Yeah.
think of I would like acupuncturists to be on every corner, the way a Starbucks is on every corner too,
Yeah.
because like you say, competition's not bad. It means that there's a need and then also the desire for it. But the only way that need and that desire meet and match is if there are more successful acupuncturists. If there's only so many of us and we have wait lists of 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, that's not helping our community. We need more of the acupuncturists coming out of school, the more Chinese medicine practitioners coming out of school to be successful quickly and to have mentorship and to have mentors like you who say, "Here are my spreadsheets. Here are my expenses
Yeah,
for my
yeah. They
bookkeeping."
see everything, like how much I spend for laundry, how much each insurance pay me when I pay my employee. I'm like, this is what I get, this is what you get, this is what I pay for electricity, and how much I pay for your even Gmail account, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then they can see that like my employee every month I'm making $20 profit from my employee.
Wow.
This is like for
So you're
me, it's
coming even when with your employees, you're
yeah,
coming
yeah.
even. Yeah,
Yeah, it's an investment in the future.
for
And
sure.
it's an investment in my reputation, in the ability to care for the community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When we think of money, we cannot think of like what they pay me right now. When we see the patient of like they have a family of five, you actually potentially get five people,
Right.
right? So when it's like marketing, when we treat the patient, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this for you to regulate your hormone, great for period. And they would like, oh, my daughter have trouble with her
Mhm.
period. So I
Yep.
bring her in, right?
Yep.
You not advertise. Don't put it on piece of paper. I do this, do that. People believe it when they're like, oh my God, I feel better. Let me bring my daughter in. And that is the best referral. Or you talk to them, you say, oh, this weekend I went and I volunteer and I'm able to help a patient with frozen shoulder. Oh, I know someone with frozen shoulder. And that is how you share something very personal, something you hold dear. And they're like, oh, I know someone. We don't advertise as me, 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 me. You have to be, what can I do for you?
Exactly.
And everyone love themselves.
Yeah. No,
We need to keep that in mind.
it's so, so true. In every marketing thing I've taken, a workshop, class, events, etc. And this is where I see a lot of acupuncturists do it the other way. They say, I do
Very,
acupuncture, I do acupuncture. And I try to tell people, no one cares that you do acupuncture. I'm sorry to break your ego and burst your bubble. No one actually cares that you do acupuncture. Do I think it's cool? Yes, because I went to school. And so I know what you're talking about, but no one else
yeah,
cares.
yeah,
What
yeah,
you need to be conveying is, how can I help you?
yes,
What is in it? Everyone's looking at everything around the world as, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? What's in it for me?
yeah,
So if I'm an acupuncturist or a practitioner running my own clinic, or maybe I'm just renting space or I'm a colleague, to say I do acupuncture, that means nothing to everyone else. You have to come from a place of, I can help your sleep. I
yes,
can help those painful periods go away. Like,
yeah,
what is it for them? What's going to help them have more ease and grace and pain-free living in their life? And
yeah,
that's what sells.
yeah.
And the great thing is we have solutions. It's not like, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
with
making
false
stuff up.
advertise. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not false advertising, but we just
yeah,
need to come from a place of, like, heart to heart, like the way we're having a conversation, which is
yeah.
like,
And school,
I know someone that can help you with that, you know?
yeah. And then even you tell a patient, eventually they have someone and they refer you, right? And I just feel like acupuncture school teaches all the acupuncture point, teaches all the technique, but then it doesn't teach us how to deal with human being. Like, to be honest, we all know where spleen 6 is, kidney 3, stomach 25, whatever. Like, we all can put that needle in and they feel better. That's the magic of acupuncture. However, are they gonna coming back? Are
Right.
they gonna invite someone to see you? Are they like a believer? Is who you are.
Yeah.
Like who you are, how much you care about them,
Yeah.
right? Checked in, it's like 3 days later. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you have a good weekend? Did you take your daughter to a play? And they're like, she care about me. And that already make people feel better, right? And I think that human connection, how to connect with another person, how how to not sell is like we not being taught. Like I even patients like I heard that I can use herbal medicine for this. And I'm like, you can, but I would like to try acupuncture first because if I can do it with medication, that's what I want to do for you. And if you want medicine, you already went with Western medicine.
Yeah.
Why are you coming here and I give you more drug? To be honest, I know it's herbal medicine. It sound natural and it sound like root but it is medication. Like if we can help someone with just lifestyle change, with acupuncture, without drug, without like I need to take this bottle every month. I like to do that for them, and they see that oh, she not take advantage of me,
Mm.
and she not trying to sell another bottle of herbs, right? I think people trust us better that we're not too spiritual and we're not voodoo.
Yeah.
Like we actually want to help them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that maybe that's a personality thing too.
Yeah.
Some people naturally connect with others in that way, and some people have to work at it. But it
Hmm.
again, I'm not saying one's a better practitioner than the other, but to know thyself, right? To
Yeah.
understand where your character strengths are and to recognize,
Hmm.
maybe it's not the best thing for me to open up my own clinic. Maybe I would be better
Yeah.
as an associate at someone else's clinic,
Mhm.
right?
Agree. Yeah.
Or maybe I need to look for an employment position and just focus on the skill of providing great acupuncture care and not having to worry about marketing and insurance and this and that, all the things that come with running your own clinic.
Yeah.
But unless we have a model for that, unless we have role models, it's hard to even imagine what being a practitioner will look like because it's still so emerging in the United States.
Yeah. And there no I think the small business is make it so hard for us to grow because you can be a good practitioner, but you doesn't mean that you can run a business.
Right?
It's a different beast,
It's a
right?
whole different thing on its own.
Like little thing matter and even set up the clinic for the patient to feel at ease.
Yeah.
It make a huge difference, but do you have the energy? Do you have the fun? Like, do you even want to spend that money before you even make money, right? I would say always work for someone, learn everything you can from them.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't want to open my business, but I opened my business in October 2024.
Okay.
Just very recent.
Yeah, so what did you so you when you graduated in 2020, you must have had all that hands-on experience somewhere. Did you work for someone else before you opened up your own practice?
I did. I mean, I work at a few clinic, and I take training as needed. One of the interview, they like this out. Oh, you need this like Allen methods, Richard's hand, and I'm like, yeah, I have that. And you know what I did that weekend? I trained myself, and I like stopped myself like pin cushion. Okay, this work. And you come out new, but I've been doing body work since I was 10. Yeah, so I know how to check pulse. I do adjustment. I don't do that anymore, but at least I follow the channel. I might not know what the muscle name is, but oh, you have a pain here. When I do martial art, I know that muscle, the movement. I feel that the attached to here, and I would go above and below, and I would get the knot out of the body. I started out with just my family, and then random people and family friends, and since then, and I become an engineer, but then I'm like, I can always lose stuff with my fingers. So I went yoga. I learned corrective exercise. I'm also trained most of the PT courses for pelvic floor as well. No, I'm not trying to compete with PT. You guys are doing an amazing job, but I love to know what other people are doing. I don't even need adjustment, but I see a chiropractor. I check out different chiropractors because the fact that we are surviving and there are so many chiropractor, you can dismiss that as help. And when I talk to patient, I'm like, okay, it doesn't help you for a month, but I know in that moment of relief to have not pain for 1 day, 2 day is a blessing. I always support other professional. Come to me, we relax, we relax your muscle, book your chiropractic adjustment the day or the day after. So we work together and then you see your PT, right? We relax the muscle, the chiropractic adjust them to good alignment. Now the PT get you into stay on that alignment. And I love that. And I love that the MD or the doctor already look at internal, we good to go. I feel safer. I feel like I have a team of support. And my result is exponentially increased because of them. When I went to school, everyone like, chiropractor is bad or PT doesn't help. I'm like, I don't think PT not help, but when you in that much pain, it's hard to do the exercise. It
Mhm.
even hard to move. Like I can see that, but come see me. I'll reduce your pain. Give me your PT name. We can work together. Right? They'll tell me what area they work on, with muscle, with movement. I'll relax that, and then you see them the next day. Now you get your range of motion. Now you're strengthening, right? And I think my practice grow because I work with other people that increase and kind of cement the result for me. I
Yeah.
don't have to do the magic. I just need to do what I'm good at.
Yeah, I love
Right?
that. You have a team approach. You're not all under the same roof
No,
necessarily, but
no, yeah.
because you all cross refer, your patients are getting better and you're
Yeah.
sharing those patients. I love that. That's how I work too. Is I love cross referring. Maybe it's the way our brains work in that we're seeing where your specialty is and you can't do all the things, and I think that's really
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah. And we don't want to do all of it. You're going to kill yourself before you even make enough money. Right?
Yeah, so they're cross referring to you, you're cross referring to them. It actually builds the network and people start coming to you way quicker. I fully agree.
Yeah, and just have that trust you and people know that they're not trying to make more money of them or hold on them more than they need it. I'm like, this is as much as I can do for you. Now go. And then even people call and they're like, I'm willing to pay cash. My first visit with me is like 270. And I'm like, you know, I don't think you should spend that money. Contact Kaiser, tell them these conditions, what you told me right now, you should get a pelvic floor PT. And they are very helpful. They teach you these skills. And you might not even need acupuncture. And if they tell you that, oh, that this muscle could be the obturator internus, it's like down here in the pelvic floor. And, they can do internally, but they can't get the entire muscle. And this is great. This is where I come in, right? They tell me, just do this muscle. They gave me the list. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Right. And then I'll send them back. It's it's make my job so much easier, less stressful, and I'm not the only one, like, have to hold a space for pelvic floor, which is a really emotional place to be. Like, someday there's a lot of crying, there's a lot of tear, there is sometimes you feel helpless. We think we can solve so many problem, and then pelvic floor, it's a mystery, it's a puzzle. And sometimes we don't know where to start, right? It's like you just have to keep talking and find history. And there is a pelvic floor patient right now that I'm like, let's work on your TMJ. And what do you do when you're in high school? Like you trying to investigate and, the movement that they do. And then we treat their knee and their face instead of their anus. And you know what? It's hard to relax my anus if I tie my jaw. It's almost impossible.
Mhm.
So when we have this stress, like literally we squeeze our ass,
Yeah.
you know?
Tight asses.
Yeah, tie
How big a
asses.
tight ass? Yeah.
Yeah, and then when we cleanse our jaw, it's gonna be automatically your body in the firefly and your body in firefly. The first thing you do, you want to have a bowel movement. So naturally, your body want to do this to protect yourself. If you have any trauma down there, oh my gosh, you don't want your vaginal area to be wide open. Of course, it's tying up. If you have any muscle cramp, naturally your muscle contract, just like your bicep contract when you do exercise. And when you have erectile dysfunction, right? And you have all the knots in the abdomen because you do a million crunches. Come on now. Like blood vessel is not like copper wire, like the copper, like plumbing, right? It's like any muscle that tight gonna push into your blood vessel. And when you're trying to get an erection, you want it fast. You want it to last. You want it to be speedy. But then if there is so many obstacles to get there, it take longer to get there, it take longer to drain, it's not gonna be the way you want it. And often such a blessing, right? We just relax these muscle abdomen and then like boom, and like you're fine. And nothing wrong with you. But make sure you go to your doctor, make sure your prostate okay, right? Well, that's why the blessing to have these people already check over. I was like, you're good? Okay, now it's up to me. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
really interesting to think about the care that you're talking about, like, in teams and everyone using their specialty to help a patient in this team way is a version of integrative medicine. One of the things I explore in the podcast is trying to understand what does is integrative medicine? It's a term that's being used everywhere, but how is it actually operationalizing and how are patients actually receiving it, or is it really adjacent care? So the way that you're cross referral, you're not under the same company, you all have your own practices, but cross referring to get that patient their health goals is so important. Really, that's the focus. It should always be the
Patient
patient,
first.
patient first, patient care, no matter how we get there. Right. And like you said, you don't have the time in the day. There are so many people suffering, so many people who need our services. There's just not enough health practitioners on the planet
Hmm.
to manage all the pain and the suffering.
Yeah.
And so we do our part and we refer off so that we can each be do what we're really good at. And I love that. That's
Yeah. And I don't think sharing more, cross referring is hurting us as long as we continue learning and we bring result to the table. And in order to bring result, don't think of it as like an innate talent. You need to see 100,000 of people and then like, this is what work.
Right.
And this is my second option. If that option doesn't work, you can't come to the room and just being on the defensive. We have to know, we have to have our tool, we have to have the confidence. And often I find that patient not coming back because new practitioner, you so new, you don't know what your treatment plan would be.
Right.
Like I look at their initial intake and I'm like, I know what I do the first and depend on their A or B, I'm gonna choose with this second treatment. And when I talk to them, I'm like, okay, so the first treatment, we're gonna do this. We're gonna address this. And in 2 days, you're gonna feel sore. On the third day, you're gonna feel 30% better. And I'm gonna text you on the third day. We'll talk. And when I see you next week, we're gonna continue into this area. And then we can continue to address. And after second time, you're gonna sleep better. Instead of wake up 3 times to urinate, you're gonna go to 2 times. I'm hoping for one. That's my aim. And I love that. Because see, two you already nailed them down for two treatments. Like they are in the book for two. Because the first time you're not gonna make miracle, you're gonna spend time talking. But then now they know after two treatment, I don't have to wake up 3 times to pee. So of course I'm gonna come 2 times to see her. At least I have this patient for two. And then 3 times. The third one, you're doing well. We're gonna pee for 1 time for a couple weeks. But the third time I wanna work on your digestion. Let's talk about your diet.
Mhm. Yeah.
So having that plan, and a lot of my practitioners like, I don't know how many days. I'm like, yes, we're not a miracle pill. It's okay. And it's like, hey, how you feeling? And like, oh, the pain is still there. How you sleep? But I sleep better. I'm like, great. That's, oh my God, better than expected, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You gotta spend it and you gotta be confident. And if you're wrong, it's not like you lie. This is what I think it should happen, and it doesn't. There's something else I did not look at. I'm like, sometimes I call on patient like, I have more pain. I'm like, that's okay. You 60 something years old, and this is the first time I asked you to do 50 squat, right? The needle in the butt is like you do a lot of squat, right? Of course you sore for a week. Don't worry about it. But if you have any like major headache, muscle spasm, numbness, please go to urgent care. I don't expect that to happen, right? But it's okay. It's okay to give patient hope. It's okay to say they'll be better in 3 days. And if they're not better, you have to believe in our medicine. We always help. And when it fail, during your treatment, even though just put the four door in stomach 25 rinse, everyone gonna feel less bloated. They feel better in a way they can't explain. That's how you're gonna get them back. And I think the confidence, like, yeah, we are so freak out inside, and that's okay. You don't have to freak out outside. You can say 3 days and 3 days doesn't happen. It's okay. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. No, that's so wise. That's so good. You and I can talk for days. I can already tell. Can we start to bring this together? Because I have
Of
my
course.
own acupuncture to go to
No, okay,
soon.
okay. What would
And
you like to talk about?
well, when we come back, I mean, I have so many things I think we could talk about in another episode if you're okay. I think a lot of people would be curious. We can come back to this idea of mentorship,
Yeah.
practice mentorship,
And business.
business. I also think it would be really interesting to have a conversation with you about why you choose, even though you're trained in Chinese medicine, why you choose dry needling over acupuncture.
I can answer that very quickly.
You can? Okay.
So I chose dry needling over acupuncture. I don't think it's a joy, more like I'm adding that into my repertoire. So my tr- my treatment is always required. I don't dry needle and let them go. I'm very strict when it comes to what I believe. I tell my patient, no, you're not leaving. We're gonna give you traditional acupuncture too. Could that what so dry needling, I would highly recommend that because the result is so immediate. You get the buy-in right away. Like a patient come in. with a muscle spasm, with sciatica, immediately in 1 or 2 treatment, you actually can get rid of sciatica completely or reduce it to like 1 episode a day very, very quickly. I mean, it does need practice. And then that treatment might only last and the relief might only last for 3 to 5 days. However, when you combine with traditional acupuncture, like we talked about, when you're happy, you feel better. When you sleep well, you feel better. So I'm like, no, you're not going. Let's give you a treatment to make you even better, to make this pain doesn't return. So I would have them come down. We do their digestion, we do their yin channel, their spleen, their kidney, we'll do their onion, peaceful sleep, yin tongue, all of that. So easy point, no effort at all. But this is still the result. Make them last longer, increase their quality of life. And I'm always combine both. And I think we should. Like anything help, right? Bring them
Yeah.
in. And it make the treatment faster. It's allow you to easier get paid because
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I learned dry needling when I was in acupuncture school too. We didn't call it dry needling. It was just part of our orthopedic
Yeah.
acupuncture class, our sports medicine acupuncture
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
It was only recently when I finally looked into dry needling and I was like, "Oh, that's what I do." Like
Yeah,
not
yeah.
not every patient. It depends on the patient and what they're coming in
Yeah.
for. But yeah, so you were blending it. You're getting that immediate result. I
Yes.
do the same thing. And then
Yeah.
on top of that or adjacent in the same treatment plan is
Yeah.
to focus on the underlying. It's kind of like the dry needling helps with the branch, right? It's like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
immediate
exactly.
thing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
exactly.
using our tools to really get to the root.
And don't lose your root. Like,
Yeah.
don't lose who you are. We went to school for Chinese medicine because we love this medicine so
Yeah.
much. We believe in the channel. We believe in energy. And now I know some of you learn dry needling. I was like, I don't do acupuncture anymore. That's a mistake because it makes so much better. It helped them to come back to see you for anxiety, for digestion. Don't just like see them every 6 months. Like you losing a lot of business and a lot of the other thing you can help people feel better. And
Yeah.
this is where trust and belief come in. You do acupuncture because otherwise you're not treating a whole person,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah. Beautiful. I adore you. I love you. Can we do a quick rapid fire? And then
Okay.
and then we'll schedule you another time to come back on,
Okay.
okay?
Oh,
Are you okay
sure.
doing rapid fire?
Oh, yeah,
I like
sure.
it. It helps people. It's just like another side of you.
Oh,
And you can say pass to anything. What's
okay.
the best advice you ever received?
Do the right thing.
What's the worst advice you've ever received?
Don't give up.
Do you consider yourself a morning bird or a night owl?
Neither. I love to sleep.
What is your favorite food
Anything durian. I know it's gross.
I love durian.
Durian popcorn is my go-to.
Well, I'll need to get that recipe. A book that changed your life or your mindset.
I think how to make friends and influence people.
I know that one. We'll link this in the show notes.
Yeah.
Okay, finish the sentence. Be the type of person who.
Be the type of person who cares.
What would you do if you weren't doing the current work you're doing today?
I always wanted to be a neurosurgeon. In the evening, I don't watch TV, but I watch dissection.
I iron and watch dissections. When I'm ironing, I hate ironing, but I love watching dissections. So it's like a way of balancing. And my kids are always like, Mom, you're so dark. It's so cool.
It's so cool. I'm like, oh my God, just inside. I want to just get it in. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, finally, the final question. What is your one wish for healthcare?
We collaborate and elevate each other.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for sharing your energy. If people want to reach out and connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
You can find me on Facebook on Linh Taylor. You can definitely find me on my website, Java, Java. It's a programming language, javaacupuncture.com. I'm very offline.
I'll put that all on the show notes so people can reach out to you through your website or Facebook. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I hope that if people have questions, they can reach out to us and I'll make sure you get them as well, because I'm sure people will have lots of questions. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with someone who would appreciate it. Your support helps create positive ripples in all of our communities. Do you want to continue this conversation? Do you have questions for the guest or the host? Do you just want to explore more? Please visit Yinspired over at substack.com. To subscribe, it's free. You'll receive every new episode, plus access to transcripts, show notes, resources, links, and the opportunity to join the discussion. From my heart to yours, create a day you love. This podcast is for entertainment, education, and inspirational purposes only. Nothing in this podcast is diagnostic or direct medical advice and does not establish a practitioner-patient relationship. Seek care from a highly trained medical provider for your healthcare concerns.